Hello, this video is coming quite late. See, say hello, say hello. My new cat, kitten, very stubborn. Chayo, say okay. So this video is coming quite late. Oh my god, this is like the second take. I hope I can do it well now. So yeah, it's a review about the books I read in March. I read a couple of books in March, fantasy and romance, just fantasy and romance. And the first would be Six Crimson Crane. Six Crimson Crane. So it's about a girl, a princess, whose stepmom banishes her from the kingdom. And okay, this is the story. She's in a kingdom where magic is forbidden, and then she discovers that she has magic. And not only that, she discovers her stepmom's secret. The stepmom is apparently a great sorceress. So when she discovers the stepmom's secret, the stepmom banishes her, turns her brother into six screens, and tells her that she's not supposed to speak any word. For every word she speaks, one of her brother dies. So she's not supposed to, she can't tell anyone about it. So she leaves the kingdom. Her dad is looking for her, everybody's looking for her, but she doesn't know how to tell people about it. And then so it's just her on the quest, trying to find her brothers and trying to look for a way to undo her stepmom's magic. There is a nice plot twist in there that you would love. Seriously, I'm not going to spoil it for you. So the next book I read will be The Cruel Prince. I got the whole Folk of Hell's hair Folk of Air series right here, and the two is up there. And truthfully, I got this book because I've heard so much about it, lots of people talking about it, but I must say it's not my kind of book. I did not particularly enjoy it. I wouldn't say it's bad, but I would just say it's not for me because I was bored. There was, when you read a book, especially fantasy book and thriller, you expect it to have that moment, that moment you want to jump up, you want to stand up, you want to laugh out loud, you want to just, there should be something, you know suspense, anything, just anything, but there was nothing there. So it's about a girl, Jade, whose mom and dad were killed by her sister's father. Yeah, her stepsister, her sister's father. So he wicks them off into fairyland because he is a fairy. And there she grows up with a twin sister and her other half sister, right? So she grows up, but she gets to, they are not really accepted, they are not welcome. They discover that they are humans, and humans are weak compared to fairy. I mean, fairy can live forever, right? And also they have magic, which she doesn't have, and she wants to either be one of them or be better than them or greater than them. So she goes into politics, becomes a spy, becomes an assassin, takes the kingdom by force, puts a king there she can control, and well, yet she's not happy. Anyway, so that was the first book. I would rate it 3 point. That's just it. I don't know. I started the second book, The Wicked King, and I must say it hasn't improved for me. So I don't know. Maybe there's something I'm missing, but so far I'm not really enjoying the book. This Six Crimson Crane, I'll rate it a 4 point because I really, really did enjoy it. Now, the next book I read will be Shadow and Bone. Oh my God, I loved it. That's a 4 point for me. That was my first time reading Leigh Bardugo. Yeah, I know I'm very late. I'm very late to it, but I was seriously impressed because, truth be told, current fantasy novels have not really done it for me. Yeah, it's not working. Most of them, you sometimes you read up to 20 books before you find maybe one or two that you really like. The others you're just reading. So, but for Shadow and Bone, I love the Grishaverse. I love the whole. It's a high fantasy novel, set in, of course, an imaginary world. There's always map and all that. There is magic and darkness and so much more. I'm not going to spoil it for you. The series is on Netflix, so you can go watch. I have not watched it. I want to finish the series. I want to finish reading the books before I watch it because I do not want to spoil it for myself. So the next book I read would be The Awakening by Nora Roberts. So I did not finish it. I did not finish it, but well, it's okay. Well, I wouldn't say it's a best work, but at the same time, it wasn't that bad. So The Awakening is about a an high school teacher, an upright, this kind of people who feel like fun is a sin, like having fun is a sin. So she's a high school teacher, and she has like lots of student loans. She's been living life in a very boring way with so much. And mind you, her mom is rich. Her dad left when she was young. Her mom is rich, but the mom hasn't been so supportive. She lives with a roommate, and then one day she discovers that her dad has actually been sending money to her, and now she's like a millionaire and everything, although she hasn't met the dad since he left when she was a child. But she discovered that she has so much money to spend, and what does she do? She fights with her mom, takes a roommate on a trip to Ireland to have fun, and of course to look for her dad. There she discovers so much more. The dad is from an ancestry of magic, from another world where magic, dragons, talking animals, and all that. It's really, really, really nice. And of course, there's romance in there. The next book I read would be, let's see. So that's like all the fantasies I read. So I did read an historical romance novel. It's really, really nice. A Lad for a Governess. I would put the books and the names in the description box, so you check it out if you're interested. But if you love historical romance, I would recommend this. It's about a governess who used to, okay, she works in England as a governess, and but the point is, the problem is she cannot keep a job, not because she's not good. She's a very good governess, like she's a good teacher, children love her, but the men can't seem to keep their hands off her, right? So there's always a man in the house trying to, get his hands, his mouth, his whatever on her and everything. So most times she leaves, most times they're, yeah, angry and jealous wife asks her to leave, even though it's not her fault. So she gets this offer from Scotland, a very far place, where you have to cross the ocean. And so it was like, okay, let me try it. I do not have an option. She goes there, and then she meets the lad who doesn't like pretty women, right? Because his ex-wife was pretty, and then so many complications and all that. And he has this daughter. And God, I love novels with children, when there's romance between somebody, and then there are children or a child in between. It's really so cute, because those children and child always bring the couples together. So you would love it. They are both good looking, both beautiful. The next book will be The Bromance Book Club. That's like the best romance novel I've read in a while. Yeah, I'm saying that because number one, the story is not your typical story. It's about a married couple. They've been married for quite a while, but now the wife wants to divorce, and then the man will do anything, I mean anything, to win the wife back, even if it means joining a book club where men read historical romance novels and every kind of novels to bring their wives together. It's so cute. And then there is smut in there, but at the end, so you can like read the whole story and all that, and then skip the smut part. Yeah, it's just one part of it if you're not into that kind of thing. Next would be The Selection, Kirakas. Okay, so when I first started reading this book, I did think that it's just one book. I didn't know it's a series. So I was at the last chapter, I'm like, wait, what's happening? And that's when I went to try, like, oh, there are like four more books. So anyway, Kirakas, The Selection is about a girl who was selected. Okay, now this is how it is in their kingdom. You get selected to marry the crown prince, but this is how the selection works. Every A girl is picked from each community, and they're sent to the palace where they compete for the king's affection, attention, sorry, the crown prince attention, affection, and all that. And after all those things, the crown prince picks one and marry. And also it's a class society, so they have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's a 5. she's a five. Yeah, five is like they are poor, but not that wretched. You get what I mean? But the problem is she's in love with somebody. The guy she's in love with is a six. Six are like servants and people who barely gets one meal a day, kind of poor. But she loves him. She's willing to, it's funny. People who don't know what poverty is, like they've never really been poor and hungry, they kind of feel poverty is romantic. There is nothing romantic about not being able to eat one meal a day. Believe me, the love will die, especially when you have kids. You have kids that you cannot feed. You will hate yourself for committing to such. When your child start crying and starving, believe me, you will hate. So don't even think about. When I was reading it, I was like, is she all right? I mean, the guy was, because he is there, not he has been there, is there, is experiencing it. It tells her, please just go to the palace and try your luck. Do not, it's nice now. When you were young, we're saying it, you get to, she gathers crumbs like they're leftover from her house and takes it to the boy, and then they eat it. So romantic and all romantic. But when you're together, when you finally get married and you have to start there, your parents are not there to feed you. Nobody is working tirelessly to feed you, where every money you make you can spend it how you want. That's why, anyway, so that's the point. So it tells her, go to the palace, try your best. What you think is right now is not. So she's angry, she's heartbroken, she leaves the palace. But I don't blame the guy, seriously. It was being realistic. Yeah. So she goes there and of course meets the crown prince, and it's a typical she sees the crown prince the first time, she tells him her mind, and apparently, like all, yeah, almost all rich, spoiled, not spoiled, like almost all rich men in movies and in books, they love when girls are rude to them, apparently. And that means, oh, she's not scared of me, she's speaking her mind, she's this, she's that, and then he falls in love with her. Yeah, the typical. Yeah, as if that would ever happen in real life. Anyway, so that's just about it. I'll rate it a 3.5. So it was quite refreshing and nice. At least I've not read something like that before. The other two books I read were from Hudson Lin. I've always wanted to read her book, Going Public and Hard Sell. Now, these two are BL novels. Going Public is about Roy and his secretary Elvin, who has been in love with Roy. Elvis El has been in love with Roy, but Roy is this kind of, person who doesn't spend one night alone. It's set against the it's set against the backdrop of the financial world, the Wall Street and all that. I'm not going to go too deep into that so I don't embarrass myself. I know little about finance and commerce. So anyway, yeah, so she is in love with Roy and would willingly do anything for Roy. Yeah, even if it means coming to lay his bed after he has finished doing stuff with his one night stands and all that. So, and then there is Hard Sell. It's a series actually, but each book is an individual story. So I do prefer Hard Sell to Going Public. Hard Sell is about Danny and Danny's friend, little brother. What's his name? I've forgotten. So this is the story, right? Danny is an orphan, so his friends' family is like his own family, right? They always take care of him and all that. But now Danny is successful, he's a big boy and everything. But his friend's little brother is in love with him, like really in love with him. But there's no way he's going to date his friend's brother, right? Or not. Anyway, so that's the story. Will they make it? Will they not make it? It's something you should read if you're into that kind of book. It was a surprise, but a pleasant one actually. Everything is there: the smart, the story, the romance, and if you're into finances, you probably enjoy lots of that jargon and all that. So I'm not gonna bore you anymore. That's just about it. All the books I've read, and I'll make sure there are a couple of books I started. There are a couple of books I started, but I've read just a few pages, so I won't talk about them here. So, yeah, take care. See you next time. Thanks for watching, and please come back.